body's sweating again. Oh, why can't this burning hot flash just end? I was fine before, but now I'm freaking losing my cool. Facial hair and hormones are breaking all the rules. It's just another Menopause Monday.
Hello, my beautiful people. It's me, Jenny D from Spoke Me Jenny D podcast. I am so excited because we're back with Menopause Monday. I'm so excited for this. It's, the summer has really just taken a toll. Things have been going on. Kelley's been busy. I've been busy, but we are back. This is Kelley DeFilippis. If you have not seen her on my episodes, you're missing out. So we started back in March with Menopause Mondays. And Kelley DeFilippis is a nurse practitioner, and she's also a menopause specialist. Yes, people, I said a menopause specialist. We are in such a need as women to have someone who knows about our bodies, who is talking about our hormones, who knows a lot about it, that's giving us such good information that we're hearing so many different things out there. And it's so, to me, I feel like I found my place. I found where I need to be. This is only what I'm going through and what's working for me. This is up to you, whatever you feel that is going to work for you. But I want you to listen to this episode because it's informative. And I'm going to talk about my symptoms with HRT. I've had it since May. So if you're just listening to this for the first time, I don't even know. Did we do a podcast episode on the beginning of my symptoms?
We did at your first visit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did do an episode with your first visit, and then this is basically your follow-up visit.
My follow-up visit.
Yeah.
So Kelley, introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers. So make sure I got your credentials correct.
Well, you did pretty good. I'm Kelley DeFilippis. I am a nurse practitioner and a perimenopause, menopause hormone specialist. I am at Cornerstone Wellness in Robinson. At Cornerstone, we have a whole group of women. We have a whole team, I should say, of women who are ready to help women. So we have myself, but we also have a physical therapist. We have a registered dietitian. We have a therapist that deals with sleep, sex and intimacy, massage therapy, red light therapy if you want. But we have 30 providers. So you can basically kind of pick your team of who you want to take care of you. But I am the menopause hormone specialist here at Cornerstone.
How long has Cornerstone been here?
So in this location in Robinson, we've only been here since July. But they've had an office over in Beaver, I believe, for about 5 years.
Okay. So that's the thing. I feel like that there are a lot of people out there that may not know about Cornerstone Wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a one-stop shop. And I'm actually getting myself involved more here too. So I'm going to be trying all the different services that they have. But for now, we're going to talk about the hormone replacement therapy because that's the route that I went. So Kelley, fill them in a little bit about when I started, what I started with, and things like that.
So back in well, no, it wasn't in March. I think it was the June.
It was either May or June.
Yes. It was either May or June is when we started Jenny on hormone replacement therapy. And honestly, did we start you with the 0.05
yes.
or did we start you with the
0.05? We started with that. So if you would listen to the other episode that we talked about what is menopause.
That was our first episode. What is menopause?
And I basically was just kind of like testing things out to see like, what does she know and what does she have? Because, as women, we're like, okay, whatever. I know what to do. I'm just going to, I'll be fine. And so I was like, okay, let me hear this. And I think a lot of women, we had so many views on what is menopause. And the 80 symptoms. I love how people are like, I don't have any symptoms. I'm like, there's 80.
Yeah.
How could you not even have one?
Yeah.
I get very
just
passionate.
Because people think that the symptoms are only hot flashes. And the thing is not every woman has hot flashes. I don't have a hot flash. But it was hot all the time.
Right.
You sleep in warm fuzzy pajamas, was sleeping in a t-shirt and underwear with a sheet, and still had to stick my foot out the covers to keep cool. So not everybody has hot flashes. And the other misconception is that once you stop having your periods, that you're through it. Once you stop having your periods, you're postmenopausal for the rest of your life. Did you know that?
And every woman is going to go through this. You're
every
not
woman,
exempt.
every woman. But did you know that a man, if say there's a man and a woman, they're both 60 years old, and of course the woman is postmenopausal, her husband has more estrogen in his body than she does.
Wait, what? I'm like, what? No,
so men make estrogen, they just don't make the amount that women do, and usually a man's estrogen level is around 30 or 40, and women who are postmenopausal usually have a estrogen level of less than 15.
Wow.
So her husband actually has more estrogen than she does.
It's ridiculous. And when we get into this more, so first of all, that first episode was what is menopause?
What is menopause?
The second episode that we did was the misconceptions about the HRT.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that, Kelley.
So, many women think that they can't have hormone replacement therapy due to having a family history of breast cancer, or because they have high blood pressure, or they have high cholesterol, or because they're obese or overweight. They also think that they can't have hormones because they had a blood clot whenever they were on birth control. All of those things are completely inaccurate. And there's also this big, huge belief or stigma that hormone therapy causes breast cancer. It doesn't. That study was done in 2002. We don't use those hormones now. Those were synthetic hormones that were made from pregnant horses' urine. We don't use those anymore. We use body identical hormones.
And the women were older.
And the women were older. I mean, we went into detail about it.
And it's all in this book that we.
But yeah, watch the episode if you want to learn the misconceptions and the fallacies and why the stigma exists and why it was wrong. And one book I always recommend every woman, actually every person, definitely every woman read is called Estrogen Matters. It's the book that changed my life and my career.
Right. Because,
one of the books.
And it's not like, Kelley's just doing this she actually was crying for help herself.
I was crying for help. I had, name a symptom, I had it. Yeah. And I mean, I had thoughts of leaving my family. I had thoughts of hurting myself. My favorite thing to do was sit in a dark room and stare at a wall. I had no motivation. I was overweight.
You just didn't know what was wrong with you.
I wasn't myself. I felt like I was walking along myself, watching my life, but I wasn't in it.
You felt like you're not present in your body.
I was not. Yeah.
Yeah. January this year, 2025, that month was a wake up call for me. Even though I am post-menopause, I didn't realize how bad it was until I was the same way. And so when Kelley and I first met and she was telling me all this, I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, you're telling my story. And the woman who wrote this book, who is very famous, was telling our story just last week.
Dr. Vonda Wright. Yes, we were honored.
Yeah, that Kelley talked about, she talks about in this book.
Yep.
So then I even validated it, like the thought of like, okay, well, this is what is going on. Women need to hear it from a professional, but also from a woman who has gone through it, and I'm going through it now. And so that's why I've been, listening to her, kind of going with her. This is my path that I'm taking. And wow. So this is those episodes. You please,
watch those.
Yes.
If you're just checking in on this one, we have 3 more you can watch.
I know.
If you got time.
Hey, if you care about your mental health, your physical health, every
aspect of your health.
Yes.
Every aspect of your health.
Then you're going to want to take care of yourself. You're going to want to listen to these episodes. But we are going to go into me. I'm going to be, vulnerable. I'm going to just tell it like it is. Before I started the hormone replacement, I was a mess. And when I went to my doctor, Kelley's going to laugh, they gave me anxiety medicine. They just upped my dose.
I'm not surprised. The same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because they, and I'm not faulting all the doctors because nobody really had.
You can't
an
fault the
education.
doctors. The problem is, I mean, I'll be the first to admit I was a horrible menopause provider because honestly, I didn't know what I didn't know. I've been in healthcare for 25 years. I have 3 degrees. I have an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, and a master's degree, and I received really no education in menopause.
Right.
I was basically taught menopause is when a woman stops having her periods. She may have some hot flashes, and
you're old,
and hormones are bad. That's basically what I was taught, and in all honesty, it was due to, which we go into detail in the second episode, is the WHI study put a screeching halt on any education for medical providers, let alone just the regular, just regular public. But it put a complete screeching halt to any education surrounding menopause, surrounding hormone therapy, and in the 1990s, 40% of menopausal women were on hormone replacement therapy, and whenever that study came out, those prescriptions dropped by 80%. So now, it is estimated that there may be between 2 and 5% of the menopausal population that are actually on hormone replacement therapy.
Right. And it's, so for me, I thought, okay, I got to try something. I was crying for help. None of my doctors really knew what was going on. Like they were just, yeah, okay, maybe, but they're still in that.
Relax.
Yeah.
Get better sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Eat less. Exercise more. And here's your antidepressant. Yeah. The problem is it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work.
Like the brain fog and the night sweats. That's not going to help that.
It doesn't.
The hormone, the estrogen, and Kelley is a professional about this. She'll be able to talk more about it. But with me, it was more like I was kind of like a hamster on that wheel.
Oh.
And I was going around and around.
Yeah. Well, and you notice that too whenever you would try to fall asleep. Your brain's just going about everything, and you just can't shut it off, and you can't go to sleep. And then whenever you go to think, the words aren't there, or you lose your train of thought really easily, or you walk into a room and you go, what am I doing in here?
Oh, the brain fog is the worst.
The brain fog is bad.
When the worst part of it too is that you do feel like that a lot of people are kind of dismissing you. Like I felt like I had all these Post-it notes on me, and I felt like I was going crazy. And as a woman, then you stopped. You know what? I was like, all right, I'm just going to stop going to the doctors because
I felt like I was going a little bit crazy myself, especially like
you feel
whenever
like you're alone.
You do. It's a lonely feeling. But what women need to realize is we're not really alone. We're all going through it, or we're all going to go through it, and we need the education, we need the support, we need the information to understand, and our mothers.
We need someone to listen.
Yeah, and somebody to listen. And you can ask your mother, and she'll probably say, I know my mother, if I ask her now, she's 83, she's like, oh, that was easy. And I remember she was like a rabid dog. Mm-hmm. Like one minute she would be fine, and the next minute she was completely biting your head off. She wasn't fine. I can remember her coming home from work and going straight to bed.
Right, like, they didn't know any better. They
on the weekend, she didn't get up until very late. I don't remember her having a hot flash. I mean,
they kept it quiet.
Kept it quiet
because they didn't know what was going on with them.
They didn't understand what was going on with them. Their mothers never told them what was going on with them, and our mothers never told us what was coming.
No. And and you kind of like compare it, and you think, well, wait, my mom never talked about it, or my mother had a hysterectomy, so hers was different. She went into menopause right away. Mm-hmm. But we are here today to actually talk about my symptoms, and your treatment, and my treatment. So Kelley and I, when we sat down, she went through the list of, are you feeling this? Are you feeling that? And I don't know if you want to. Yeah, so we can go through that a little bit. But my score was a 19. Yeah, at your last visit, which was a huge improvement from her initial score, which was well into the 30s. Yes. My goal whenever I treat a woman for menopause and use hormone replacement therapy is to
improve your symptoms by at least 80%. So get you feeling 80% better than you did whenever you first came in. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Compared to the way you were feeling, say in January to now, how much of a percentage would you give yourself as being better?
My gosh. I mean, I'm not going to say 100%, but my gosh, I'm in the 90%.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the little things, but that kind of stuff is just, as a woman. But,
isn't it life-changing?
Oh my gosh. The brain fog to me, Kelley, in my job, when I'm listening to someone and I lose my train of thought, what a horrible feeling that is. I thought, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm losing
Probably
my
had
brain
to do a
cells.
lot of editing.
Yeah, I know. I know. It was so bad.
You probably had to do a lot of editing.
Yes, I'd be talking about it, even with friends and stuff. You're talking about a conversation, and you're like, "What were we just talking about?"
What were we talking about?
And it was horrible. So it was like that one to me was in the night sweats and the mood swing, all those things. The belly fat, everything. I was gaining weight, but when I started, Kelley started me on the
estradiol patch.
What was the dose on that?
I believe it was I think it was
0.05.
I think it was 0.05 also, because I knew how severe your symptoms were, and I also knew how you were only, I think, a year out from stopping your periods,
right.
So I knew you weren't completely and totally depleted, but I knew we needed to put some of that estrogen back.
Yes.
And so we started you off on the 0.05.
Right.
And tell them about your experience that you had those first couple days when you started the patch.
Yes. So the patch actually is like this. It's like a little sticker.
I should have brought it in.
I know.
It's about clear. It's about the size of a postage stamp, and it's clear.
It's so easy.
You do it
twice a week.
Yeah, you do it twice, and you
just put
it
down
your lower abdomen, below the belly button area, and you just change it twice a week. So a lot of women
change sides.
You can.
Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anywhere in that whole lower abdomen area.
There's my uterus. I didn't bring my big one.
Put it.
This is Kelley's.
That's my uterus, not hers. No.
You should be playing. We have fun. Listen, we're women. We can talk about it.
Way.
We can talk about it.
There we go. She's right there.
It's not taboo, people.
But you change the patch twice a week. And then you also take micronized progesterone. And progesterone helps protect the uterus from any type of overgrowth that could lead to an endometrial cancer. This should be done either orally, is the most preferred method, because it comes with wonderful side effects of sleep.
Oh. So we had 100 milligrams is what I started with the patch, and it was like the first couple of days I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta call Kelley, because my body was like, what is this? Because when it's bioidentical.
Yes, it's body identical.
We depleted our bodies.
But because our bodies have been so depleted of the estrogen, every single cell in our body has estrogen receptors on it. And if they're not getting the estrogen that they need, then they slowly just kind of start to shrivel up and close down. So whenever you're giving the body back the estrogen that it needs to function normally, it's kind of like somebody having to go around and turn on a bunch of light switches. And so we have to turn those estrogen receptors back on. So whenever you're first starting, sometimes the body's in a little bit of a shock. And it's like, what is going on here? What am I supposed to do with all of this? And it is confused and it doesn't know what to do. Luckily, it's pretty good at figuring things out pretty quickly, and usually within a couple days.
Yeah, it took me about, I did it on Thursday, and it took me till Monday to start. I had a headache, I was crying, then I was pissed
angry.
I was angry.
She's angry.
I was mad. But I mean, I went from all these different, I was like, I'm like, this isn't working. But then I started by Tuesday, Wednesday, because I took it again. I changed the patch again on Monday. I was like, all right, my body's starting to feel then all of a sudden,
it was like somebody opened
the floodgates and said, Jenny, you're going to start feeling like yourself again. You really find yourself again.
You do.
Through all this. And so Kelley and I, all summer, we've been kind of fluctuating. She was she would she's like, how are you? Because my sleep was always the one that was like so getting interrupted because you wake up to go pee so much, because what our walls are thinning.
So the vaginal, so the whole vaginal vulva, urethra, bladder area
Kids, this is PG-13.
is very estrogen dependent
Right.
and very estrogen rich. And whenever it doesn't have the estrogen that it needs to function normally, it does start to function abnormally. So a lot of women will experience itching or having to get up at night to pee. So common, not normal. We shouldn't be getting up at night to pee. Or some leakage, or
You know what women say? It's because I had kids.
yes, it's always because you had kids.
Mm-mm.
I've had women who have had only cesarean sections and they still have the leakage.
Yeah.
So it's not just because you, and then did having a kid vaginally change kind of the geography a little bit down there? Changes
Geography, I love that.
change it. It does cause some changes, but you still shouldn't be getting up at night to pee.
Right.
You shouldn't be walking into Sam's, Costco, Home Depot, and making
Looking for the
sure
bathroom.
you know where the bathroom is so that you can hit it, make sure that you get there in time.
Yeah.
Those things are not normal. So we did start you also on vaginal estrogen, correct?
Yes. And it's terrible because I'm going to be honest, I keep forgetting to use it. But when she had me use it for 2 weeks straight, I know I'm getting a bad girl. I used it for 2 weeks straight, and I'll tell you what,
Makes a big difference.
a big difference.
It makes a
I
big,
didn't get up
big
to pee
difference.
that much. I actually felt rejuvenated down there. I don't know why I'm not taking it. I started just doing it like every 3 days, and sometimes I do it like once a week. I forget.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause you
It's
should do
kind
it at
of
night.
it is hard. It is hard to remember to do, and I know that it says that you to do it at night, but you don't necessarily have to do it at night if you're using your finger to apply it internally, because you're rubbing it in like you do cream on your face.
Right.
So it's not like whenever you use the applicator, you get this like clump. I don't recommend the applicator to anybody because you don't put a clump of moisturizer on your forehead and hope it gets soaked in. Like you rub your moisturizer into your face, right? Well, this is the same thing. You need to rub this cream
I used the applicator a couple
into the vagina because the walls and the urethra and the clitoris and like that whole area needs it. So
what does it do for it?
So it helps rebuild. It helps rebuild back those tissues. Our inner labia are not something we had in infancy. They developed in puberty.
Right.
And they can shrink up and become smaller, thinner, and those are something that are necessary to help keep bacteria out of not only the vagina but out of the urethra. Right. So whenever they disappear or they shrink up, it can cause a lot of issues. So
because urinary tract infections are a big thing.
Well, there's changes that also happen to the urethra. Also, it shortens, the skin becomes thinner. There's little hairs inside called cilia that help keep bacteria out. They kind of stop working as well.
There's like an educational.
There's like a little sphincter in between the bladder and the urethra that becomes a little more laxed and not as tight. The bladder loses elasticity, but also can become spastic. And that's why we all of a sudden feel like we got to pee, or why we're getting up in the middle of the night to pee because of the bladder spasticity. So using vaginal estrogen 2 to 4 times a week really depends upon how the woman feels and what she needs.
Right.
Helps get rid of all of that.
I know. And it's something that we're not educated enough to know about these, but we need to talk to a professional who knows more about this. And I feel like anytime I tell my friends or family about Kelley DeFilippis and Cornerstone Wellness, they're like, "What? Oh my gosh, Jen, maybe what you're doing is really work." I'm like, "Hello." But
maybe it's working.
I know, but hearing it from me, Jenny the podcaster, is not maybe going to be as credible as hearing it for someone who has specialized.
I like to say too, not only am I a menopause specialist and hormone specialist, I'm a user. Like I'm on these hormones, and it was because of the terrible debilitating symptoms that I was having that led me to 2 years of research before starting on hormones. And I started on hormones at the age of 49. Well, we're good
You
for
got so
59.
old.
The age of 49,
older
and I'll
than
be 53 next month. So they've completely changed my life. And so I want women to know, I'm not only, am I educated in this? Yes, but I'm also doing it. And
It's not like she's going to make millions of dollars. She's actually passionate to help women. You've saved me. That's for sure.
Aw, thank you.
I've had people come up to me and say things like, "Oh my God, Jen, you're so different now. You're happy. You seem like you're engaging and you're there." Like I felt like I wasn't there. Like about the brain
I
fog.
wasn't either.
No, and so this summer things were just so crazy. So Kelley, I said to her, "Oh, I'm not sleeping still as much, but maybe." So she's like, "Well, let's
increase the progesterone and from the 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams, and how you sleeping now?"
Good, but then we jumped my estrogen because we thought let's just jump them both,
and that didn't work out so well.
That did not work out so well. So what happens is, as women, like I couldn't say to my cousin or my friend and say, "Oh, you need to use what I'm using."
No,
we're
all different.
So you kind of like, it's been since May, June, like that. I tried this, tried that, and I'm getting now to that level where I feel like this is working. Like I'm going to stick with what. So I did stay with the up on my progesterone
at 200,
but I went back to my normal.
To your 0.5 on the estradiol.
Because the 0.075 took me for a loop.
And I'll tell you,
it was weird.
We are basically the same age.
Yeah.
And so you're on 0.05 of estradiol and 200 of progesterone. I'm on 0.075 milligrams of estradiol and 300 milligrams of progesterone.
Oh.
Every woman's different.
Right.
We're not alike. I also do 5 milligrams of testosterone every day.
Yeah.
And I haven't got you on the testosterone yet. We're going to do that today
and see if
we
can get.
Yeah, we can definitely.
Should we do blood work first before you go to
testosterone? We can. It's not absolutely necessary. The reason I check blood work after starting testosterone is just to make sure your level's not getting up to a male's level. Now that being said, the dose of 5 milligrams is probably, it's kind of hard to get you. So just for comparison,
I'm already getting facial hair.
If we're doing testosterone supplementation for a man, it's usually anywhere between 25 and 100 milligrams of testosterone a day.
Okay.
Testosterone supplementation for women starts at 2.5 milligrams to 10 milligrams. So it's a tenth of a man's dose. And did you know, you probably don't, here's another one of those, did you know, so here you go. Did you know that when we are in our teens and 20s and maybe a little into our 30s, we actually have more testosterone in our body than we do estrogen?
Why?
What do you think makes us horny teenagers?
Oh. So if I get a low dose of testosterone combined with my estrogen and my progesterone, what will that do?
So one, testosterone is really good. It can be very helpful for libido. Testosterone is absolutely necessary to maintain the strength, the core strength of our bones. Mm-hmm. Estrogen helps build new bone and take away old bone, but testosterone helps keep that core strength of the bone. Testosterone is also important for muscle development and maintaining muscle, so it helps prevent sarcopenia, which is a loss of muscle mass. It helps with brain fog. A lot of women will say that once they started on their testosterone, they felt like more of the fog had been lifted. Or I know for me, testosterone is also really good for fatigue. So if you hit that afternoon kind of fatigue, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're just like, ugh. It really helps tremendously with that. I too used to really suffer with that and would always reach for a coffee in most cases around 2, 3 in the afternoon. I need
a sugar.
I don't have to do that anymore. It's a female hormone too. It's not just a man's hormone.
Oh yeah, tell them they don't make female testosterone.
Oh yeah, and by the way, there's no female dose testosterone. So When I do it compounded with my friends over at Porter's Pharmacy. Love Porter's.
Thank you.
But anyways, we do it compounded. So what they basically do is take the male FDA approved version. They take the male dose of testosterone and they dilute it down into a female dose, so that we can give it to women and so that they can have their testosterone. So the United States doesn't have a female dose of testosterone. New Zealand, Australia, the UK, and as one or two other countries have it, but
You wonder why.
we don't.
We're not.
And also in the United States, it's a controlled substance. So you have to have a special DEA license. You have to have a license from the government, from the Drug Enforcement Agency. Is that what it is? The DEA.
Yeah.
In order to prescribe it, which of course I do have.
Thank God.
Because so way back in you remember the blood doping scandals of like the Olympics or whenever all those those baseball players were hitting like these
steroids.
Well, testosterone is a steroid.
Oh my God. See, I'm learning.
It's an androgen. It's a type of steroid. So they were doping they put testosterone on the controlled substance list to make it harder to get, so that to help with the whole blood doping thing.
Thank you, guys.
Thing is, it's all testosterone. No matter the dose, no matter the delivery system. So whether you get it in a cream or in an injection or however you get your testosterone, which those are the most two common ways, it's still a controlled substance.
Right.
And whether you need 2.5 milligrams or you're taking 1,000 milligrams, which would be used for blood doping maybe.
Hello.
It's a controlled substance.
Right.
And it's in the same class as like Vicodin, Percocet.
Yeah, so that when you go,
so there's
to a
limitations.
specialist,
You have to have this drug DEA license in order to be able to prescribe it.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like if you go to places and you got to really be your own advocate. You have to find a specialist or someone who is. Don't be just going to some place that's. Just,
there's a lot of things
are popping up everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I don't know.
There's a lot of places. I mean, what I do is according to the guidelines of the Menopause Society, the International Menopause Society, the British and the Australian. I'm also an avid student of Dr. Vonda Wright, Kelly Casperson, Karen Min, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, Rachel Rubin, Heather Hirsch. So all of these, in Avram Blooming, all of these leaders in this space.
They're
and I'm
starting
an avid,
the revolution.
yes,
I'm
an avid student.
Matter. We matter.
Avid student of them, but there's a lot of places that are popping up where some red flags would be you can only use their medications. They'll provide you with the medications, or you have to use their lab. Or it's some sort of like they're pushing their own brand of supplements is another kind of bit of a red flag. And you should try to find somebody who is on the Menopause Society's list of providers.
Be your own advocate. Really do some research and find someone. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Kelley is a menopause specialist that I met, and I feel like all the things that she's saying, and it's true. Like once you try something,
well, then it kind of got reiterated by the wonderful Dr. Vonda Wright the other night. Right. Whenever you're just doing,
she was just here for a book signing, and if you've never heard of her, I mean, she's a powerhouse woman.
Yeah.
She's an orthopedic surgeon who actually used to live in.
She was actually the head of the Mario Lemieux Sports Complex.
Yes. So she has done it all, and she's got boys, she's got sons, and she was very open, and she's very open about the book. And what she also stresses, and I've started doing this year, I go to this place called Stronger Personal Training. It's right there in Bethel. I started lifting weights.
Yes, strong,
I've been doing
not
it twice
skinny.
a week. Yeah.
We need our muscle.
She was saying that.
Yeah.
Strong.
Not skinny. You want to be strong, not skinny. We need our muscle.
Because everybody's still in that head, like, I have to be like this really thin to look good. No, it doesn't look good. You know, your body mass, your muscle mass.
It's your muscle. You need your muscle. It's what's going to help keep your body upright.
Yeah.
As you get older, I mean, you know, if you don't have muscle, you're going to be that little frail little old lady that you see. Whereas if you have muscle, you're going to be you know, just like she said, her goal is to make it to 97, still being able to do the things that she wants to do and not needing to depend on other people. You know, I have an 83-year-old mom who needs a walker. She has osteoporosis. She has vaginal prolapse. She has, you know, diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension.
Do you think if she would have taken HRT,
I think her life, I think it would have been different. I think it would have been I think some things could have been, I think some things could have been different. Right. I don't know if it, you know, would have been everything, but I certainly think she wouldn't have osteoporosis.
Right. Yeah, that's the big. Kelly in one of our episodes was like, "Do you know any men that have osteoporosis?" And I went,
so of the people that have osteoporosis, 2/3 of them are women. I know you heard that the other night.
Right. So a lot of the facts are in this book of what Kelly's been talking about. But Kelley, let's go through my symptoms.
Okay, so you already mentioned that you feel like 80% better.
Yeah, I do.
Or 90, maybe you said 80-90% better. So that's good. So have you been having any hot flashes, or do you still feel hot?
No, I mean, like occasionally, you know, I was just at somebody's house last week and I was feeling warm at her house. So I went outside. But I mean, it's not like to the point of like I feel that internal heat
like you were before.
Yes.
What about night sweats? No. Good.
I mean, I'll wake up sometimes and I'll be like a little bit warm, but it's not
like it was. No. Good. What about anxiety?
That comes and goes.
Okay.
That comes and goes.
Okay.
But not like it used to be.
Okay.
Not like it used to be. Like I used to think bad thoughts and
okay.
Oh, this is going to happen to me. Like, you know, when you watch things on the news, you think that's going to happen to you.
Worst case scenarios all the time. Yeah. Now you have a little more optimism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Irritability.
That one fluctuates.
Okay.
You know.
Do you feel less irritable? Like,
yes.
Do you feel like you don't kind of fly off as quickly as you used to?
No. Sometimes though, it will like. Is that anything to do? Is that the estrogen too as well?
It could be.
Lately, like probably like I don't know if it's because of the transition of kids going back to school and everything going on in my life. Being sick for a while there, I was kind of like a little bit of.
We have to remember. We have to remember though too. Like life is still going to happen.
Right. This is going to be a miracle.
We're still. Yeah. I mean, this is not like this doesn't turn everything into. Yeah. It's not like you're still gonna have life stressors. But do you feel like you can deal with them better than you did in January?
Absolutely.
That's where the improvement is. That's what we need to focus on. Like, yeah, we're still going to have some
I recognize it too. Like, I'm sorry.
You're stuck in traffic and you got to get someplace. You're not going to be like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yes.
Like, you're going to be like still angry because you're stuck in traffic and you have an appointment to make it to.
Right.
That's normal stuff. Like, we're not going to be able to improve those things because life happens, you know, but it's not overreacting or feeling over emotional or over anxious because of something small happening.
Right.
You know, because
who took my hairbrush or something, you know?
Right.
Like something so stupid.
Who drank all the milk and left the empty thing in here? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're just be like, oh God, damn kids. You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, for me it's anyways, but you know, life stressors are still going to happen. It's really, do you feel like you're able to control them, where before you may have gotten irritated just by like your husband's breathing?
We won't go. No,
like I did.
Snoring, maybe no.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Like the little things like that. But no, I feel so much better.
Okay, so much better. And and then you said that you've not really been using the vaginal estrogen.
I forget to use it, so probably I would say twice a week.
Okay, twice a week is good. Yeah. twice a week is good. That's the minute, like that's like the maintenance dose of it. Some women need it more than that, so really kind of pay attention. Yeah, kind of pay attention to how you're kind of feeling down there, especially like how many times a night are you getting up? Is it itchy? Does it burn? Do you get the I gotta pee feeling? That sort of thing. And if you are, then use it more often. Some women need it twice a week. Some women need it 5 days a week. I mean, every woman is different.
I think I'm going to up it and see what happens.
Yeah. And so instead of using that applicator, I recommend using your finger. I always tell people, ditch the applicator. You got an applicator right here. Right. And you want to put about 1 inch worth of cream on your finger, insert that in, and rub it into the walls. Okay. And then you want to take about another, like a pea-sized 1/2 inch amount. And you want to make sure you coat the whole.
I've been using
on the outside?
The applicator.
No, that's how much you want to put on the inside. Okay. But you got to put some on the outside too.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Yeah. So that's about a 1/2 inch too.
Okay.
Yeah. Pea-sized 1/2 inch, and make sure you get the whole outside area. Okay. We should have brought our model.
Can you have too much in there?
No. Okay. So using vaginal estrogen every single day for an entire year is equal to 1 single birth control pill.
That's crazy.
1 single one. Yeah. Using it every day for an entire year.
Crazy facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's so low dose, and it doesn't go systemically. It's what your vagina needs.
Right. Then I'm going to start using more and see what happens.
Yeah. Use it more and see what happens.
Okay.
How's the libido? How's the sex life?
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's never going to be like it used to be.
Well, you're not 20.
No, like running after each other,
And you've been married for many,
27
27 years. So it's not going to be like that. I guess more so any pain with good.
Nope, no dryness, no pain.
Good.
No, nothing.
All
like
right.
That. Yeah, so it's good.
What do you feel we could still maybe improve upon?
I think my biggest thing is that I am not the one initiating it.
Okay.
Like I used to. So I feel like if I'm not thinking about it, I'm not like initiating it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I feel like I wish I would be more the one that's initiating.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's
Well, libido is complex. Libido is very complex. It's a state of mind. It's not just the tingly feeling down below. It's really, and what I also find is the longer that we're on these hormones, and the more we start to feel more like ourselves, that seems like it is easier to obtain again.
Right.
I mean, I know for me personally, I really didn't like my husband so much. Right. I mean, I didn't want anything bad to happen to him, but if he never came home, I wasn't going to be upset. And
change the locks now.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, like I couldn't even stand somebody touching me because it felt like nails on a chalkboard.
Right.
So and my vagina was itchy and burned, and like I had absolutely, I definitely was like absolutely not, and and I would have some discomfort with intercourse.
Right.
So that makes you kind of fearful of it.
Right.
And so you have to get over kind of like the mindset things, like, okay, oh, look, I don't hate him. Like, and I do like that.
Think about it, like when we were talking about marriages, like, and it's so hard for men to understand the woman's body and what we're going through.
Yeah, because they don't
experience a whole different life.
Yeah, like that could be a whole different thing, but
it's not their fault. I'm not blaming.
It's not their fault.
I'm like, dude,
one,
you just don't get it.
Their mothers hid it from them, so their mother, and some of them may have noticed like something's wrong with mom, but then they just went out with their buddies and went to play football or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and nobody talked about it, and having really, really open communication with your spouse about what is going on with you really helps build back that kind of intimate, because I know my husband he felt rejected, and
Yes,
he
that's how they
felt
feel.
like there was something he was doing wrong, that I didn't want to have sex with him.
Right. Instead of like not knowing that
And
it
he
had
never,
nothing we couldn't control.
and we didn't talk about it.
Right.
We didn't talk about it, you know. So until,
and isn't like I feel like our marriage is so much better.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
since I've been
Ours
on
is
the
ours is
estrogen,
better too.
so
Ours
much
is better
yeah.
too, but also because, well, all he hears about now is about menopause, anyways.
know,
And he's
too.
like, I'm so sick and tired. I don't know how you can read one more thing, but it wasn't until very hard for a woman to talk about what she's going through, because she doesn't even understand it herself. She feels like her body is against her and hating her. And that's real hard to talk to. How can you talk to your spouse about something you don't even understand what's going? And that's one of the reasons I didn't talk to mine, is I didn't know what was happening to me as a medical provider. He's like, you're a nurse practitioner. How come you don't know what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, my husband was just recently, he was at Permanis or somewhere, and he was sitting up at the bar, and he overheard these two women talking, and they were talking about perimenopause and things. And he's like, I don't mean to, what is that called?
Eavesdrop.
But my wife does a Menopause Mondays where she talks about this, and like, here's her card and stuff like that. And the women were like, oh my God, thank you, because we're talking about it.
We're talking about it.
But we don't have any solutions. You know, we're not like, that's why, you know, we have these episodes, and we're both so real about what's happening with us and what's happening with our relationship. A lot of divorce happens.
Well, the highest rate of divorce is between the age of 45 to 60.
Mm-hmm. And people think it's because...
I don't think that's coincidence.
Yeah.
I think that's menopause.
I feel like it too. Okay, let's go through this.
So, one thing I wanted to say too is, now my husband, and some of his buddies will come up to him and ask him, like, how, you know, and he's like, look, I don't know anything about men. I could tell you about like what my experience, what, you know, like how it affected me, but don't ask me questions about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any symptoms that are kind of left over that you want like to further improve?
I mean, it's always, like you said, life gets to you. Like, my sleep has not been 100%, but that's my own fault. I don't go to bed sometimes till midnight. I'm up looking at my phone. I know.
I can't stay up that late.
Yeah.
But I'm up
so
at 5.
It's my fault. And then I get up at 6:30 with my son.
And you need more sleep, Jenny.
I know. I think I do need more sleep.
You do. I mean, women need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And if we don't get it, it's going to, you know, sleep affects our mood. It affects our energy. It affects everything. So you got to get that sleep.
And it's just like the stomach weight gain, you know, that to me has always been like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But, you know,
so
that's something, the cortisol and all that.
Well, estrogen deprivation changes our metabolism. And in our reproductive years, we put weight on in our butt, hips, and boobs. And once we're no longer, you know, once we're going through perimenopause and our egg supply is declining, it changes it changes our body composition. It changes the fat deposition where we put it, and it goes all to the belly mostly.
Right.
And so that's why you'll see women who are in their 50s and look pregnant.
Right.
You know, they have like these big protruding bellies, because that's where the weight goes. A lot of times, and this isn't for every patient, but for a lot of women, once we get them feeling good on their hormones, one, you have a better outlook on everything. So you feel better. You don't feel like you're trudging through mud every day.
Right.
So a lot of women start focusing more on their diet and focusing more on exercise and things like that, just because they feel better.
Right.
But also our metabolism starts to kind of change again, and so does where that fat deposition goes. So sometimes we'll see women lose anywhere between 5 and 15 pounds without even trying. Right. Or what'll happen is their clothes start to fit them a little bit differently.
That's right. Like, I've lost 10 pounds, but I didn't feel like I've lost weight because I still have that stomach. But when people see me, they're like, Jen, you look like you've lost weight. I'm like, I feel like we were saying, my body composition is going in the right places now.
Plus, with estrogen being an it helps decrease an inflammation that we have. and helps decrease the cortisol levels, which then causes the belly fat. I mean, it's just like
Right.
this
My face
whole
was so
cascading.
puffy.
It's just this whole kind of cascading thing.
Yeah.
I think, so you mentioned you're starting to lift weights again.
Yeah.
How do you feel the muscle?
Oh my gosh, so much better.
So much better?
I feel like I'm starting to get muscle.
Good.
I feel so much better, like in, doing the weights, and I've been, up in my cardio a little bit. Mostly, after talking to her
like
about
you need
the cardio.
to be, yeah.
Like she was saying, like, you need to like walk up hills. You
Yes.
can't just walk your dog. Like that's what I've been doing is walking my dog. You need to elevate
it. So wear weighed vests.
Yes,
I'm gonna up
that a little bit, and things like that. But yeah, she really wasn't. It was definitely an eye-opening thing because I do yoga once a week and I do the weights.
Yoga's good.
And I'll walk.
It's good for our balance and for our flexibility. It's not so good for like the strength part and building the muscle.
Right.
But yeah, I too am going to start. I've been listening to the book on audiobooks. Is that a long drive?
Yes.
So I listened to it on audiobooks and I'm about 3-4 chapters in already. So
yeah. So I mean, I thank you because you've really changed my life, and I'm on that road of like, wow, like, and I feel like I want to be a voice, and I want you to be the voice too, because you have the professional background. I have the audience.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
You're just a girl who wants to talk to
I'm just
girls.
a girl who wants to help other girls with girly things.
Yes, exactly. That's a lot of girly
things. That's it.
It's true.
Well, here's what I think we should do. One, I don't think we make any changes to your estradiol patch or to your progesterone. I think those things are going really, really well. I do want you to start increasing and using the vaginal estrogen a little bit more. I think we check your testosterone level and see where it is, and maybe add that in as part of your treatment also.
Okay.
Testosterone is, like I said before, it's a female hormone too, and the dose that would start you off at is going to be very low. We're not going to, because we don't want to. No. Hey, I take testosterone. Do I have a beard? Am I bald? Like. Yeah, so this is when we're like, I'm like, I take it.
It's safe.
How do I look?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm all right. You're gonna be fine. It's very, very, very safe.
Right.
I mean, we have studies, like, as far as like cardiovascular health and all of that go, because we have studies in trans women trans men, I mean, who have been using high 10 times the dose of testosterone, and they're not keeling over with heart attacks and stuff. Right. So it is very, very safe at the very low dose that we're going to give. But let's check your level and see where it is. We don't have to make an appointment just to go over your blood work. We'll do that over the phone or whatever. Okay. And then if we decide to start you on testosterone, which I think we probably will, then we'll have you follow up in like 3 months to see how you're doing with that.
Yes. So
and we'll
come
have another episode.
Yes, we'll have another episode. We're hoping, to have more information about what's going on at Cornerstone Wellness as well. So we'll keep you informed on all that. But I thank you so much, Kelley.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have this platform to speak to women, to help women, to reach out. I'm very appreciative of you and our friendship.
Well, I'm glad we found each other.
I am too. Yeah, right? Fast friendship. Fast friends.
High five, baby. Fast friends.
We didn't even know each other before March.
Now we're like, love you, girl.
Love you.
Yes, we
go to things together now.
We do things together because, when you find that person in your corner that's kind of like your coach and cheerleader, you found your person. Yep. So, good luck to you guys. If you have any questions, I'll have all this information.
We'll be your cheerleader too.
We'll be your cheerleader. Call the I have all the information about Kelley and Cornerstone Wellness. So make sure to tune in to our next one. Take care.
Come spill with me. Come spill with me. Come spill with me. Jenny D.